Hello everybody, it's me, Marshall Mallow. Today I'm gonna be playing Spore, and not just playing Spore, but I'm gonna be making Pokemon in Spore. So let's just sit back and make some Pokemon. You know, people don't really realize just how beautiful of a game Spore is. I mean, it's a game where they give you the tools to make anything you want. So they give you the tools, and you can just mess around and make any dang thing you want. Oh, God. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, enough dicking around. So the first Pokemon I'm going to make is Lapras. Lapras was one of the Pokemon from the original 150, and he was kind of rare. It's kind of a rare Pokemon. I guess it could be either. It doesn't really matter. But it's kind of a rare Pokemon. She would always be, I think it was like you had to do something very special while surfing in order to get a hold of her. I don't really remember. I played Pokemon, but I can't really remember all of what I did when I played Pokemon originally. So let's just quickly change the color to that ocean blue that Lapras is. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong section. That's a little bit... Yeah, that looks more right. Okay, so let's just start here. Let's get the legs on there. She's got kind of flippery legs. And a couple more back here. Squish this down. She doesn't have feet. Doesn't have feet, but she has legs. They kind of look like this. In case you're wondering, yes, I am using a couple reference pictures to make her. Because I can't remember all the details of the Pokemon. Yes, I know I'm a Pokemon scrub lord. But I mean, you know. But yeah, I used to... Come on, I guess I can't. Oh, whatever. I used to play Pokemon a little when I was younger. I didn't... I played it through to, like, I think the last one I actually fully beat was Ruby and Sapphire. And then, from there, I just kind of stopped playing. Like, I bought them, and I played, you know, a lot of them. But I never really finished any of them. How the hell am I going to do the shell now? there's a couple of tricks out there for you people living out there and wanting to play Spore, and you try to make the beautiful creations that I can. I'll give you a little tip here. In Spore, there's a couple of little tactics you can learn that will help make things look the way you want them to. So first of all, if you hold tab, you get, I don't know what the fuck these things are called, you get these little handles that allow you to rotate any pieces of your creature that you want to, and you're able to rotate it more effectively than just using the little ball handle. I'm fairly close there, but we need. She's got like one here. Another tip is that if you hold down A, you can remove a piece of the thing and make it asymmetrical. Oopsies. You can remove a piece of your creature and make your creature asymmetrical if you like. You'll know it's working if you hold down A and you have this little... you have the little weird googly face. Let's see here. They're kind of thin little horn things. You can copy and paste a feature by holding Alt before you click on the feature that you want to copy. If you hold Shift, you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel as well. It's another little tip. It's just if you hold down Shift, you can scroll in and out. It makes it a little bit easier to focus on what you're making. Especially if you have little minute details like the shell edges that I'm making here. Must concentrate. Must make beautiful lapras so internet will like me. If you hold Alt, or if you hold Control while hovering over a segment of a limb, you can pull off the segment so that there's only one arm. You can then reattach it to another arm, or anything like that. There are a few console cheat codes that you can use in Spore that sort of make it a little bit easier. Things like there are some cheats like infinite complexity and things like that that would make it just a little bit easier to create the exact thing that you're looking for, as sometimes it may be tricky. That's not so bad. Yeah. And now we work on the face. And it's perfect. And there we are. Perfect Lapras. Exactly the way that Nintendo designed him. In Spore, it's so easy to make the most beautiful creations, the most iconic things into a reality. The Pokemon Lapras, made in Spore, just perfect. And I'm going to share this Lapras so that everyone can see its majesty and its beauty. So majestic. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. What have I fucking done? Next, I'm going to make Pikachu. So the most iconic character from all of Pokemon, been there throughout all the Pokemons, Ash's best friend. We're gonna make a Pikachu. Now, Pikachu is a little mouse, a lightning mouse. So he's a little guy. And he's got little stubby legs and little fat stubby arms, and that's part of the adorable part about Pikachu. When making all the most beautiful Spore creations, you want to make sure that all of your segments of your Spore creature are nice and sort of evenly distributed in the thickness that they have. Not necessarily, they don't all necessarily have to be the same thickness, just so long as they are relatively thick, so that you end up with a nice shape on your body, as opposed to when you if you were to just sort of let it go and have sort of these rumply fat folds going on. First thing I think is important with the Pikachu is we gotta give him a nice color. We gotta give him Pikachu's color. It's a bright yellow color. That way we know it's Pikachu. Also, we gotta make sure that he has his black stripes. Well, they're not black, they're brown. My bad. Oops, he just accidentally gave him rosacea. That's looking a little better. It'd be nice. Here, maybe these ones will work better. There's still some on the front. Problem is, of course, finding ones that only go on his back. Because Spore is a bit of, a jerk in that on occasion the stripes and things that you make for it will go all over the body when you're looking just for stripes that go on the front, or that just go on the back. This may end up being the closest that we'll be able to get for Pikachu's stripes on his back. We may be able to cover the front with another sort of design. It does look like someone smeared some spackle, wall spackle all over him, but that's okay. It's okay for now. Next, we want to make Pikachu's iconic ears. For that, we're going to use arms, of course. I mean, what else would you use? And we're just going to make them the way that you would expect Pikachu's ears to be. It's going to be quite difficult to be able to recreate Pikachu's adorable form using only such simple tools in Spore, but I think we'll find a way. We will definitely find a way. So, Pikachu's eyes. I need to find a correct mouth for Pikachu. Pikachu's mouth is quite small, and it's sort of part of his face, as opposed to with most Spore creations. It's a little bit difficult to create something that doesn't just have its mouth as being a separate chunk. Mostly just because of the way that the game is set up. But I'll show you a little trick. This will help you in your Spore creation future. If you use this simple trick, you can make your creations a lot easier. So what I'll show you, never mind that some of the things are messing up a little bit. If you take your creation and you shrink one of its vertebrae, you'll get this sort of little gap here. And now you can fill this gap with the mouth of your choice. And if you use the handles correctly, you can put your mouth inside. Excuse me, this is serious. You can put your mouth inside of your creature's face so that he has a mouth the same way that's actually part of its face. You can make sure your creature's mouth is part of its face without sacrificing the look of your creature. So now we just need to make a few repairs to what we've done with our creature in order to make it look more like Pikachu. So just a few simple little repairs that will make all the difference in the end. So now Pikachu needs a tail and arms and legs. So let's start with the tail. For the tail, I'm going to just use some leg. I'll just use a leg. And we're going to remove the foot so that it is no longer a leg. And then we're just going to shape it like a thunderbolt. But we're going to make it quite small. Because Pikachu's tail starts quite small. And so if you see here, I am copying segments of the limb and moving them and reattaching them as part of the same limb. So now Pikachu has a nice thunderbolt tail, precisely the way we want it. And next, we're going to give Pikachu his arms and legs. Now the first issue you'll see is that Pikachu's feet are not quite what Pikachu's feet are in the show or the games. Pikachu has very soft little feet. And so I'm going to re-change the feet out so they match more so of what Pikachu's feet actually are in the show. For all you Pokemon lovers out there, this is a way you can make your very own Pikachu in Spore and play with them to get them to level up, or to get them to become sentient and create a society of Pikachus. Your very own Pikachu society. So now you'll notice that our Pikachu's hands are not quite what they are in the show. So we're going to give Pikachu some proper hands. Hands that fit his personality. These look about right. So we're going to make them small because Pikachu has very small hands. And here we are. We have made our perfect Pikachu. I'm going to save, and I'm going to share this Pikachu with you guys, and you will be able to find him. I spelled perfect wrong. And I'll be able to share my perfect Pikachu with you all, and you'll be able to download and play with your very own perfect Pikachu. Beautiful, beautiful creations that this game can make. Oh, Christ. Now, the last Pokemon that we're going to be making today is the legendary Pokemon Mew. Mew is supposedly so rare that it didn't actually even exist in the game. However, there was a glitch that you could do that would allow you to make, or to get yourself a Mew. This small glitch involved not fighting a very specific trainer on, I think it was the path between, I don't know what it was, Pewter and Lavender or something? I don't remember exactly. But you didn't fight him until you were ready, and then until you had Fly and everything. And then you would come back and you would fight him, but as soon as he spotted you, you would then bail to, you would immediately pause and then fly off to a specific other city. I don't remember the exact city, but if you flew off to this other city, everything would be a little bit glitchy and you wouldn't be able to open your pause menu. I don't remember the rest of the glitch, but yada yada yada, eventually you end up fighting Mew. And he's just as adorable as you would expect. I don't know if he's actually that powerful in the game, though. I think that there's a slight issue in that Mew is not actually that powerful for being a legendary Pokemon. So Mew is psychic, and Mew flies. So Mew doesn't ever actually walk on the ground with feet. So we're going to have to make our Mew as close to the Mew that we all know of as possible. So we're going to have to make it so that our Mew can fly. And this is actually a really tricky thing to do for Spore creatures, because Spore creatures tend to need to have legs and need to be able to walk, but we will find a way. We will most definitely find a way for our Mew to fly. Now we all know that Mew is typically a female Pokemon, so we need to make sure that our Mew has more feminine features. Excuse me. So as you can see here, the feet that the Spore creature came with manually, we are not using because they would be forced onto the ground. Instead, we are using the legs as feet. So Mew has little dangly feet that hover, or that he dangles in front of himself, like so. So here we have our Mew feet and Mew's iconic, very wide hips. Another important feature of Mew is the fact that Mew has a very, very long tail. So Mew has this really, really long tail. And this long tail is a little curly, and it dangles around behind him. Her, whatever. As doing curls is a little bit of a difficult thing for in Spore, we are just simply going to be using angles, because angles are something that is quite easy to do in Spore. Now another thing about Mew's tail is that Mew has a very thick shape at the end of her tail. This is, of course, the bit of her tail that is a little bit thicker, and this is shown as well in the created Mewtwo that has a thicker part at the end of the tail. Now this is perfect because Mew also has little cat ears, and we have little cat ears here that we can use. Perfect. Christ. And there we have it. We have made a perfect Mew. This is a Mew in Spore that you can have your own Spore society of. And we have also made our Mew fly, just like the Mew in the games. And this is done so using, of course, all the physics that are involved with creating something in Spore. I'm going to save and share this Mew so that you too can have a Mew in your game. A perfectly made Mew. So thank you all so much for watching my Spore Pokemon creation video. If you liked what you saw, give me a like, and please comment on your favorite parts, and please comment on what you thought about my Pokemon that I've made in Spore, and let me know if you want me to bring anything else to life in Spore. I love making things in Spore, and also I'm thinking of doing a playthrough of Spore. Let me know if you'd like to see that, and I'll be happy to create a creature and see that, you know, see them flourish and become masters of the universe. But thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to see my channel grow, I'd really appreciate it if you could share my videos with your friends and let them know what I'm all about. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Can I jump any of this?